just you and I.
Hello, welcome to Module 1.4, Cloud Security Concepts. So now we really need to visit the fundamental concepts regarding cloud security. In this module, we're going to learn to identify the three principles in the CIA triad and explain their roles in cloud security. Ultimately, security is about managing risk. And there are a number of principles that cloud security professionals use to identify those risks to the cloud and identify means of really mitigating those risks or really responding to them in various ways. So we're going to kind of really describe the security processes that enforce these principles in the cloud. And also, I really always want to stress the importance of availability in the cloud, which we'll learn more about in a moment. All right, there are three main security principles. We call them in information security the CIA triad, and they are confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality is really ensuring that only those people who need access to the cloud, the information, the servers, have access to it. No one who isn't authorized has access to any of the information that they're not supposed to. Everyone has the right information for their roles. That's really the crux of confidentiality. Integrity. Integrity is ensuring that no modifications can be made to data or applications or utilization of cloud services without proper monitoring, recording exactly how or who and when it occurs. That is integrity. Availability. That is the ability to access your cloud instance. I mean, we've kind of stressed that one of the key characteristics of the cloud, or that enabled it, was the use of broadband access, the ability to access someone else's physical infrastructure over the cloud. Availability is the need to always be able to access that. When you need the cloud services, they're always there. That's availability. Let's talk about some of the processes that we'll be using to enforce these principles in the cloud. All right, data security. To ensure that only people who need to access your data have access to it, you need to define what the data is. How much security does it need? How valuable is this data? The risks associated with protecting the data will really dictate what countermeasures you employ in the cloud to keep that data safe. Virtualization. Although there are physical servers that are utilized in the cloud, there are also virtual servers. Now, cloud computing utilizes virtual servers and virtualization in general in order to augment the capabilities of organizations. However, virtualizing and virtual servers themselves have a number of security aspects and configurations that need to be taken into consideration to successfully run them in the cloud. Encryption. This is something you may have seen or be familiar with. Encryption is the process of applying algorithms to information to render them unable to be deciphered or read by unauthorized parties who don't have the proper decryption key to render them back to plain text. Encryption, this is a critical technology that is used within the cloud to ensure that data is really confidential. And then also encryption is also used, it plays a role in integrity, ensuring that the hashes on files remain the same, or any amount of doctoring or changes are caught. Speaking of catching people, auditing and compliance. This is a big part of the cloud and often something that isn't necessarily considered sometimes. You need to ensure that everything that happens in the cloud meets the legal guidelines that are applicable to your cloud, the data that you're utilizing, and the customers that you have. Being able to look back through and audit a process to ensure that you can attribute the actions that anyone has taken along the way is a really important part of being able to maintain a secure cloud environment. Okay, what aspect of the CI triad is most important in the cloud context? Availability, confidentiality, or integrity? The answer is availability. Now you might be saying, wait a second, it's a CIA triad. Why exactly is availability so much more important? In the context of the cloud, without availability, there is nothing else. If you can't access the cloud environment, if you really are out of business, you're out of luck. So ensuring that you have proper availability is one of the more essential cloud security risks to address as we go forward. All right, in this module, we cover the 3 principles of the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and also talked about the common processes that are often used to ensure security in the cloud, such as encryption, virtualization, data labeling, and making sure you can audit and comply with the security standards that are applicable to your business and organization. All right, see you in the next module.